The most common mistake PhDs make in exiting academia is assuming they understand what a job is from reading the job ad. We get it. This is how you're trained. You read, you form a conclusion, off you go. You're smart people. But for job seeking, spending all your time reading job ads will only lead to pain and rejection. And so we're going to talk about why this is a mistake and what you can do instead in today's video. For those of you who don't know me, of the folks watching who don't know me already, I'm Tori and I run Academic Exit. I help social science PhDs exit academia and land industry jobs. I'm speaking with Jennifer Polk, whose business is From PhD to Life. Jen works with professors, postdocs, and PhDs who are ready to leave academia, but are struggling to land jobs where they're valued and respected. Welcome, Jen. Excited to chat with you today. So today, as we mentioned, we're going to be going into why only reading job ads is a mistake for PhD job seekers. And for those of you who are actively job seeking now, I'm running a free training with 4 steps to exit academia seamlessly. I'm going to put the link to that training in the description of this video, so you can join if you want to learn more about how to exit academia and get your questions answered during that training and basically get an industry job more smoothly. So returning to our topic, Jen, why is it a mistake to spend 100% of your time in your job search just reading job ads?
Yeah, this is like, okay, I'm gonna figure out what jobs are out there for me and how am I gonna do it? I'm gonna go to LinkedIn or Indeed or Google and read some job ads, and then I will apply to them because I know how to read. And okay, all of that is true. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Why is this a mistake? I As we were prepping for this video, I found a quote that I have shared in workshops that I've done in the past, and it is, "A job description is a written overview pieced together like Frankenstein, created by way too many people in a large bureaucratic corporation." And Tori, like, you've done the job. Me too, right? We've seen this makes sense.
Yeah, it's funny, so when I was at Google, I was assembling a job description for a role we were hiring for. I did not take the time and care that I'm sure PhDs are taking reviewing that description. I had what was approved by HR, what had been used previously, and I customized a few bullets. Boom, out the door in half an hour. So PhDs looking at these, do not assume these job descriptions are accurate descriptions of the role. They're, as you said, a Frankenstein. And so they're not going to give you a very clear understanding. You may read it and say, oh, I could do that, but that is not going to give you the best results. It's going to lead to pain and rejection. You're going to apply to jobs too early without understanding what they are, without tailoring your resume accordingly, and you're going to get rejected more than you have to. I'm sure you've seen this, Jen. You've seen folks get rejected when they take this approach.
I can share my own personal experience. Years ago, I applied for a job and I have a humanities PhD, right? This is PhD in reading shit and being very attentive to words and what's not there, what is there, the order in which things are there, right? Like, I think humanities folks, social scientists, you're feeling me, right? Like, this is our skill set. So this is actually a really big pitfall for folks like us, because when we're doing that deep reading or whatever it is, okay, so my experience, right? I applied for a job and yeah, I was attentive to all of those things. I didn't get the job, right? Spoiler alert. But what happened was I continued to follow that same, it was a university, right? And I followed their job ads, relevant ads, like over time. I was sort of curious. And one of the things that I quickly noticed was that some of the language from the job that I applied to, the ad, it was literally just copied and pasted in a lot of other ads, the exact same stuff. And I started to realize, like, oh shit, what I thought was actually pretty important for that job is actually just boilerplate HR verbiage that gets pasted in various places. And so that's a big lesson for me, right? Like, huh, job ads are not the kind of documents that you want to analyze heavily solely as a job seeker. Just as, you know, as Tori, you said, there's all sorts of other sources of information that you want to gather as a researcher as you do this.
Right. And that's not to say they have zero value, but they are a piece of evidence. And so key point here, PhDs, is do not spend too much time just reading job ads. Don't read too much into job ads. So let's talk about what to do instead. Folks may be hearing this and saying, okay, you're telling me not to do this. What else am I supposed to do? So other ways you can get context on what a job is: career panels, informational interviews, conferences, podcasts, places where you can hear someone working in a job talk about the nitty gritty. What are they doing day to day? What does success look like? What's challenging? When you hear real people working in the job, you're going to get a more real description than the job description. Other ideas here, Jen, other things you recommend folks do.
This is really important because one of the, you know, there's sort of two, well, probably more, but let's say two possible outcomes of reading job ads, other than you don't get an interview, right? 'Cause one is you read the ad and you're like, oh, I could totally do this. And, you know, you apply and, you know, pain, right? Or the other is you read the job and you're like, oh shit, I totally can't do this. And you don't apply and also leads to pain, right? And if you do what Tori's suggesting, where you take the job ad as one piece of evidence and you go out and gather all of the other types of evidence by talking to people, by checking the publications, the outreach of this organization, by, you know, yeah, panel discussions, reading LinkedIn posts from employees, and on and on and on. If you do that, then you get a much more meaningful glimpse into what actually is going on, and what could be required for this particular job. And so you might actually realize, oh, I am not qualified or interested as I thought I was. Conversely, actually, I am qualified. There's just a few of words here that have been tripping me up, but those aren't sort of meaningful. I just need to like rejig how I think and talk about myself.
Absolutely. And you just mentioned two pitfalls of this approach, right? PhDs send job applications to jobs they're not qualified for, and then they get sad if they get ghosted, right? At least for me, I get sad if I put effort into something and then get ghosted. So either they send out something they're not qualified for, or they are qualified, they're just not using the right language yet. So choose a target job family. Act like an archaeologist, right? Like go excavate it, get every information you can on it, and then ideally get someone in that role to review your resume to make sure your story is clicking. And so if you're just sort of sending resumes out just from your own reading, you're using your own brain, which is great, but you almost want to get some sounding boards for this of folks working in industry who can help guide you towards where your existing skills will be the best fit.
That sounds great.
Right? Okay, so conclusion here, PhDs seeking jobs outside of academia, get out of the job ad weeds. Go out there, deploy these other research strategies. Go talk to folks, go listen to podcasts on these roles and see more success for yourself as a result in choosing a job you want and articulating why you're a strong fit for that job. A reminder, if you're still confused about what this process looks like, be sure to check out the free training that I've linked below. I'm excited for what's ahead for each and every one of our viewers in their careers. And Jen, it was wonderful to get to talk with you about this topic today.
Yeah, thanks. This is a quick one. Yeah, get out of the
Hey,
weeds.
yes, we spoke more quickly. Good job. All right. Have a great rest of your day, folks.